Okay guys, we're back. I'm just gonna start over from opening our Visual Studio in case some of you might be having challenges. So I've installed Visual Studio Professional 2015 and we're just gonna proceed with our learning. I think what makes it easier is if we can be able to create something that we can be able to have some reference, or we can be able to view as a mini project. So here's what I was actually just thinking. I'll create a simple project. I don't have a title for it as yet, but we can just call it name keep, like that. Okay, we can always refer to our name keep as we proceed, where I just want to be able to create some sort of a project that stores certain attributes about a name. So we want to have a name, a middle name, a last name, and maybe some other detail that we might be able to add to it. So we would want to pretty much have our structure. So the first thing we want to do is, we mentioned our toolbox in the last lesson. So let's put 4 labels. Okay, each label will be a reference to what we want to use and how we would hope to use it. Okay, so the first label, we would want to actually change its text property to first name. The next label, we want to change it to middle name. The next label, we want to change it to last name. And the next label, we want to change it to email address. Okay, and then from there we want to be able to put a button that, or rather 2 buttons, one for save and one for cancel. Okay, or we can actually have it as clear. So the first one would be save, the next one would be cancel. Okay, and then we now need a set of text boxes. Okay, so our text boxes, I simply add them by double clicking, or rather clicking as much as is possible until I get to where I need to get to, or rather until I have all of them in a specific order. I can also press Control and then select all my text boxes and modify them as I would hope for them to be. So if you remember in the last lesson, we actually said we can actually change this form 1, and we then say name keep, like that, so that we know that is the name of our form. We can change the text box to represent each value that we want. So that will be txt f name. The next one will be txt m name. The next one will be txt l name. The next one will be txt email, like that. Okay, and then these are okay. For button save, we need to change that to btn save. We also need to change that to btn cancel, like that. So what this then means is we've got all our content, which is first name, last name, and cancel. Okay, so we would then need to come to our code, which is there, and then we need to pretty much work with the two elements. Okay, so we can be able to say when we double click, we want a load event. Okay, so our load event pretty much means when this is loading, we want to be able to send a message through to our user. So we can simply put a message box, and the message box, like we explained in the last lesson, we said a message box is simply a means of us having some text. So the first text we can put is welcome to the program, like that, and then we say please enter the required information, and then message box buttons dot okay cancel, like that, so that we can be able to view whatever this is. Okay, so let's actually just run this to see what it gives us. If there are no errors, our build will be just fine. If there are errors, we'll be able to fix as we proceed. Okay, it says succeeded. It's creating our output. Yes, so we are done. So this is, please enter the required information. So that is that line of code. Welcome to the program. That is that line of code. We can click on OK, and then we'll be able to actually enter whatever it is that we want to enter. First name, middle name, last name, and email. Okay, so this is pretty much a simple way of actually putting a form load event. Okay, at the same time, we can also have a form event that is not a load. Maybe we can say on form closing. Okay, we want to also have another message that is similar to this one. So we already know what this does, so we can simply copy that as well, copy and paste it there, and would want to change the content. So this is what we find at the bottom section of our message box. So we want to put the following: name, keep, program, version 1.0. Okay, and then here we simply say name, keep 2021. Okay, this is what we would have done. So let's also run this and see what our form closing does. Okay, we click on OK. If we want form closing, it then now tells us name, keep 2021, name, keep program version 1.0. We can click on OK, then we actually close our program. So this is, or these are simple ways for us to be able to create certain things that we can work with for our design. Okay, at the same time, we can also come back to our designer. We double click on cancel and we say txt email.texts.clear, txt name.clear, txt lname.clear, txt mname dot clear. Okay, so how are we actually doing this? When we were at the designer, we actually renamed our text boxes. So this is txt fname. Come this side, we'll actually realize txt fname exists. So we are simply saying we can now be able to reference that name that we have put, so that whenever we're running our program, we can be able to change some content. So let's say I've entered some information. Okay, if I click on cancel, I'll be able to clear everything. That's what txt clear does. I'll just be able to clear whatever it is that is on that particular aspect. At the same time, now for our save, we then now need to create some code, be able to run with our code, be able to do whatever it is that we would want to put within our code. Okay, so this then becomes one of the applications we can create using our Visual Basic. We'll still be able to add more to it, but since it's still basically the introduction areas or the introduction segment, we'll just be creating our applications and take note of each application that we have created, what we might need to add to it, and as we learn, we'll be able to plug in the missing information that we've got based on what we would have left out or what we would have done and how we can do certain things. And that becomes the concluding remark for this lesson. I'll catch you in the next one.